WJBW is made possible by sausage. Stick one in your mouth.
Hey, all you racists out there, you should not be listening to our show because we do not like you. JB Retro.
Next.
Bob Leamy is the one guy that I know that has a drill bit big enough to do a big, nice glory hole at any truck stop he goes to.
You're very silly. You know that. It's silly, man.
Nope. Fastest man to woman. That's what we're going to do, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't listen to some of our podcasts.
That's where it's at.
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, some people are into that. I know there's a website.
Fucking asinine.
Some shit like that. You gotta do the Rocky Mountain Ride.
Big dick show.
Boy. Everybody get the Rocky Mountain Ride.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Hey, now.
That's right. The JB Rev Show. Welcome back to it. I am JB Webb. Across the way, that's the Reverend.
That's right.
This is our 10th season, and we are ready to rock on this edition. Man, this is Prepare for Impact. We have a great, very insightful session with a very intelligent guy, hardworking guy, doesn't give up kind of guy. His name is Cap Spence, and we're going to learn all about him pretty much the first hour. So no open phone lines, anything like that. Will you let people call you, Cap, if people got questions? Maybe. Okay, sure. Right. So maybe we'll open for that. And then about 8:15, we got a call from these guys over at That Record Got Me High podcast. So you will like these guys, Reverend. They kind of just dissect a song every week that was really impactful to them.
Okay.
It's a pretty cool show. So anyway, I thought with all the music-centric stuff with Cap doing what he does with Night Watch management, that it'd be a good session to pair with those guys. And then we may have Jack calling in for some breaking news badly, but after that we will open up some phone lines if you want to give us a call. So it's 407-906-9328. You can always send us a text to that line. But yes, 10th season. We're moving into it, episode 309. The Reverend's across the way. How you doing over there, brother, man?
I'm good, man.
You doing good?
Yeah, dude.
You
Just got back from the Keys.
How was your birthday weekend?
It was great. Really good time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw you were down south in the Keys.
Yep. Flew down there on a little prop plane. Stayed the weekend. And I'm officially done with the Keys from now on.
What does that mean?
It's just, I've been there, done that.
What?
Been there
you're
3
like,
or 4 times.
It's enough.
It is.
Yeah.
It's enough.
You're like, okay.
I need to go to better locations.
Oh.
Places I haven't been before.
Okay.
When it was all said and done, we spent like $1,400. We could have gone to Amsterdam for that.
You could have gone somewhere you've never been.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay, so to stay here in the state of Florida, you could have felt maybe a little like, oh, what did I just do? Anyway, but it was your birthday. You needed something close.
Yep.
Did you get all Caligula with it and crazy?
No. Now I'm 50.
Extra packet of saltines at the table there. Would you?
Yeah.
Anything you?
A little extra butter on my crab legs.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, you had some good seafood, I bet, huh?
I did, actually.
The
food was good. Food was not disappointing.
Yeah. Well, good. Well, every week we try to talk with talented people. We venerate those that are busting their ass.
This week's definitely no different.
Yep, definitely no different. Doing great things here in the community. So this week we've got a guy in studio here. So I really kind of want to just jump right to it. Let me see if I've got this.
Let's do that.
No, hold on. I want to see if my soundboard is working here. So
we don't need your soundboard.
Oh.
That's fine. No.
Hold on.
What do we need that for?
I got the legend music I want to play.
Oh, the local legend music. Yes. That's true. Cap is entertainment. Everybody that was there I felt like, I was one of the young ones. So, yeah, done with the Keys.
Okay.
So there you go. Did that help while you were seeing if we're connected?
It did.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Local legend interview with Cap Spence. This guy is really, truly amazing. He's got quite the storied career, over 20-plus years, and that's what we look for, 20 years. But he's pushing great stuff forward. He's centered out of Orlando here now, and he's lived a variety of different places. But I want to welcome him to our show. This guy is definitely a local legend. We're going to dive in and find out all about Night Watch management and his history in the armed services, which we thank you very gratefully for. But welcome to our humble little show here. It's Cap Spence. How the hell you doing, brother, man?
I'm doing great, and thank you so much for this opportunity to speak to the people in the ether.
Yeah, no doubt.
Right on.
Well, it's awesome that you agreed to be here. I know we were talking about it going back and forth for a while. Circled back, and yeah, man, you were able to come in, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Thank you.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, well, thanks for doing that. Because as people will learn, and I posted up an article. I think it was the Sentinel wrote it back in 2003, a little bit about your background, which is an amazing storied background. So, but we love to start with people linear. But we'll get up to the stuff kind of current modern day. You've got an amazing track record with a big, huge event. The Super Bowl is like a do or die type of thing, and we'll get into all that. But let's go back, peel it back. Where did you grow up? Where were you born? Bring us up through the Army and kind of into present day, if you want.
Okay, sure. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
All right. I've heard of that place.
Hard by the Mississippi River. I spent my first 18 years there. After my graduation from high school, I joined the Army because we had to take our ROTC in high school, and I figured out, this is what men do. Men do this. I joined the Army, enlisted as a paratrooper.
Wow.
But I had
jumping out of a plane.
Yeah. But I had to give that up because in the battery of tests that they gave me, they decided that I was perhaps a candidate to go to officers training.
Oh, wow.
So I went to officer training school at Fort Benning, officer candidate school. I graduated on the 15th of September in 1965 at the age of 19.
Wow. A captain.
No, a second lieutenant.
Okay.
A butter bar.
You got to work your way up.
A butter bar.
Is that what they're called?
Butter bar.
Those
That's
two.
right.
Yeah.
The most dangerous thing in the world is a second lieutenant with a map.
Yeah.
So I got out of OCS, went to Fort Jackson, South Carolina, where I was assigned as a training officer for about, I want to say 6 months. Then I went away to parachute school. I came back, and the first sergeant of the company said, "Sir, you should look in your inbox." And I'm talking about the kind that's made out of wire or wood, like a analog inbox, not emails.
Okay, right, yeah.
And in that inbox was a set of orders to report to the 1st Cavalry Division in Vietnam.
Whoa.
This was in 1966.
Jeez,
I was 20 years old.
Damn.
I went to Vietnam in 1966, spent half of 1966 from July of 66 to July of 67 as an infantry officer in the 1st Cavalry Division.
Wow.
Came back, was an instructor at Fort Benning, went to Ranger School, went back to Vietnam again for a second tour as a captain, which time I was the company commander and a staff officer in the 4th of the 503rd Parachute Infantry Regiment in the 173rd Airborne Brigade in Vietnam. Came back, was assigned to Fort Bragg in the 82nd, hated it. Then got headhunted from the 82nd to be the operations officer and narrator and parachutist.
See, that's interesting.
At the Army parachute team.
Okay.
The Golden Knights. And then I decided that I probably didn't want to be in the Army anymore after 10 years. And it was an odd decision, but, my marriage had fallen apart. And so rather than stay in this small apartment that I had rented alone and listen to the voices every night, I started going out to bars where there were bands.
Yeah. Stuff going on.
Yeah. And one of these bands, local, regional band that was successful in the North Carolina area, had heard that I was getting out of the Army, and they approached me and said, "Why don't you come to work for us?"
Okay.
And I said, "Doing what?" And they said everything.
Okay.
So, I didn't know a mic stand from a Marshall at that point.
Okay.
But I found out later that one was heavy and one was heavier than that. So I started out as a roadie for a band, and I did that forever. That band broke up. I went to work for another band.
Yeah.
And finally somebody said, you know what, you're better at what you do than what these bands are at what they do. You should get in the broad spectrum of things. So that was in 1979. I got out of the Army in 73. So 79 was when I began to do, quote, unquote, other things. And that was a long time ago. So I've been doing other things.
Ever since then?
Ever since.
Yeah, that's awesome. So they kind of said with this roadie work, like, hey, you're really good at this. You should maybe do a management company. You should kind of get into giving more services. You're more organized than the bands kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
The guy that told me this, a dear friend of mine from Atlanta, he said to me, the rock and roll business is like a 3-ring circus. And I said, no kidding. It sure is. And he said, no, listen to me. He said, in a circus, there's a big top tent.
Yeah.
And inside of that tent, there's sawdust on the floor. There's bleachers. There's spotlights. And there are 3 rings.
Yeah.
One center ring is huge. The 2 other rings are smaller.
Yeah.
And there's a door at each end of the tent. And bands come in from one door into the small ring, and if they're really good, they get into the main ring. But most of them, not all of them, not like the Rolling Stones, but most of them then go into the smaller ring, and then they go out the door. But there's always a line.
Yeah.
So this fellow says, what you need to do, metaphorically speaking, is to get in the business of sawdust, bleachers, tent, spotlights. Or manage them. And the things that make hippie musicians good at being musicians is the same thing that makes them really bad at being able to show up on time somewhere or be where they need to be or have the right.
Like a double-edged sword.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'm in the military. I was an operations guy. So this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I just get these hippies, and it's like herding cats. I get them all together, and I make sure they're somewhere when they're supposed to be there, and everything's ready to go. So
did you just say you were a hippie herder?
A hippie herder. I was indeed a hippie herder.
Oh, that's funny.
Trying my best to be a hippie at the same time.
So, all right. So fair enough. But you're still like, hey, let's get them where they need to go.
Exactly.
Let's bring a little structure, a little process, a little order.
Exactly. I understand. There must be some way out of here and all that. But I get the music. But you still got to be somewhere on time. And, there was a need for it, and I was good at it, and I was very fortunate.
I love how this. Now, anybody of acclaim up to this point? Were these bands just kind of rough and ready, people, or were there some relative folks of note you got to work with along the way?
Well, initially, the people I worked with were very talented.
Right.
As an aside, I believe that every Bruce Springsteen wasn't discovered. That you could go to a bar on a Saturday night, or used to be able to anyway,
right,
and hear music. I mean, everybody wasn't discovered. Every Fleetwood Mac wasn't discovered. Every Bruce Springsteen wasn't discovered. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of talent out there.
So for the first, 5 or 10 years in the business, I worked for bands that were very dedicated but never moved to the, to the higher level.
The center ring.
Right, correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Rev, have you ever done this before?
No, but I know about it, though.
You know about it.
Well, he's listening intently.
Yeah, he is. So, and I guess the first big show I did, I got a phone call. I was living in Atlanta, Georgia in the 70s, and I got a phone call from the production director for the local promoter at the time, who was called Alex Cooley. Alex Cooley's Electric Ballroom, Alex Cooley Productions. And he said, I've got a problem. I've got a sold-out Willie Nelson show at the Omni, and I also am supposed to be at the opening date of the Allman Brothers tour in Jacksonville Stadium. So I need you to go do the Willie Nelson show, which is sold out. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, I'm on the phone. And, this was before cell phones, before no FedEx, no fax machines, none of that stuff.
Right.
So I did it. It was successful. Then he hired me to do a show called Champagne Jam 79, which was a big show at Georgia Tech Stadium with the co-headliners of Atlanta Rhythm Section, Aerosmith. Okay. We had the Cars. We had Bob Seger.
Wow.
It was a 2-day big.
What was that called again?
Champagne Jam.
Okay.
79. And Champagne Jam, of course, comes from the Atlanta Rhythm Section song, Champagne Jam. We're going to have us a Champagne Jam. So it was a 2-day.
Alex Cooley. Yeah, look at that. Damn.
2-day, 60,000 seats. And when he said, how much do you want? Well, at the time I was making $75 a week.
Yeah.
So I said, I don't know, maybe $100, $100 a week.
Double that.
And he said, man, there's no way that I'm going to ask you to go through what you're about to go through for $100 a week.
Wow.
He said, how about $250?
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah.
Standing up. Hell yeah. But
So-
aren't you scared at that point what you're about to?
Oh, I was scared,
You were like,
but
wait.
I knew that he knew.
Okay.
That he
He had
knew
your
what
back.
he had my back. He was the boss, and he had done it before, and I learned so much from him. And from that moment on, I just kept going, and I moved from Atlanta to Tampa, where I lived for 2 years. Then from Tampa to Orlando, where I went to work for Pat Armstrong and Associates.
Wow.
Okay.
Who at that point managed Molly Hatchet, a band called Stranger, which was on Epic Records, a band called Foreign Legion, which was on.
I remember all these bands.
Which was on, I want to say, Elektra.
Okay.
And I just kind of wound up here. I worked for actually worked for a band called Riggs from Atlanta that was had a deal with Warner Brothers. They were in the movie. They had songs in the movie Heavy Metal, the animated, the animated movie.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
And also 2 songs in the Henry Winkler movie Night Shift.
Oh,
Okay.
So anyway, of course,
Yeah, that was like his directorial debut or
That's
something
correct.
like that. Yeah,
Yes,
Henry Winkler.
that's
Yeah, I
correct.
remember that. Oh, yeah. But that was a good, wasn't, who was in that? Wasn't it, what's his name? Batman?
Yes.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton.
Yep.
Wasn't he in that? Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
That was a good movie.
Memo, feed mayonnaise to tuna fish.
Yeah. That was funny. Okay, talking with Cap Spence. So we're right there, kind of. Where's that? Going into the 80s,
It's like
right? We're
beginning of the 80s.
kind of getting into the 80s. Now, one of the cool things that I know people that listen to our show are going to be like, what? If they already know about it, is the spring break, Daytona spring break. So let's kind of get to how did the company, so I guess we're getting to how the company came together.
Right.
Okay.
So I had been doing this rock and roll management production thing for a number of years. And I got a phone call one day from Hawaiian Tropic.
Oh.
Hey.
Hawaiian Tropic owned a stage, which was a bunch of stage, decking and so forth.
Right.
And they were a sponsor for some of the bandshell shows back in the day.
Yeah, the Daytona Band Show.
Yeah, this is before MTV.
Which is already acoustically designed to be a great performing venue.
Without any
The band show. Yeah, without
Listen,
any acoustics or anything.
I'm going to tell you, if you ever get the chance to go to the Daytona Band Show with another person, stand on the left side of the band shell and have the other person stand 50 feet away from you, 60 feet away from you on the other place, and whisper into the band shell, hey, man, how are you doing? And it sounds like the guy's right next to you.
Yeah.
Now, this, I don't even get me started. The Daytona band shell it was designed, built, and all that by the WPA. No computers, nothing.
Right.
And they nailed it. They nailed it.
They did.
So this was back when spring break, when it was still legal for Budweiser, Miller beer, Winston cigarettes, Marlboro. All those people could, Joe Camel, all those people could pitch to college kids. So
right.
each of those major companies decided they would do a concert at the band shell.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did a few of those.
Okay.
And then MTV decided they were going to come to Daytona for spring break.
Right.
So I got the phone call from Hawaiian Tropic that said, listen, we're giving our stage, letting MTV use our stage. Can you come and be the guy that fixes it, be sure that it's set up correctly.
Yeah.
So I did. It was at the Texan Hotel.
I was going to say, it was at the Texan, because I went to a couple of those, and they had an amazing stage back by the pool and actually on the beach.
Correct.
As well. On the sand.
On the beach as well.
Right.
Club MTV we did on the beach, which was
the grind.
The grind.
Yep.
It was also called the
Wow,
grind.
yeah.
Yep.
And so anyway, I show up, I do the thing.
Not Grinder.
That was before
but the
Carson
grind.
Daly, I think.
It was.
That's
Before
correct.
Carson
It was
Daly.
before Carson. But
Before TRL.
we're talking about remote
So
control.
this was like 83, 84. This was like
we're talking
heyday,
about
prime
this
time.
is 85
86,
to like
87,
89.
maybe. Yeah,
85 to 89.
Yeah.
Ralph's got it
Yeah.
more correctly.
Yeah.
It was not Carson Daly, but it was remote control.
Yep.
Right.
Colin
Yo
Quinn.
MTV raps.
Yo, MTV raps.
And
And they had the metal program as well.
right, yes.
120 minutes.
Yep.
Was-
All that. So we do all those down there. So in the process, it was love at first sight, with
Wow,
MTV.
what a great gig. Yeah.
So then the next year when they came, they called me, and the next year, and the next year, and the next. So
You just did it every year.
I did it every year in Daytona.
Damn.
I also did it every other year when they left Daytona. I did it in Panama City. I did it in San Diego.
Oh, nice.
I did it in Cancun.
So is this how the Night Watch management formed?
That's
Kind of
correct.
so through this MTV opportunity, kind of born your company was born.
Correct. I realized at that point that I needed to have a corporate entity to cash some of these fairly significant checks that I was getting from music television. And that was the beginning of a relationship, JB, that lasted for 22 years. Until they quit playing music.
Yeah. Okay.
You had nothing left to do.
I had a 22-year period where
That's a shame too.
a 22-year period where I got checks from music television every year. And from them knowing me at spring break, then I also wound up going up there to do their New Year's Eve show in the studio, which I did New Year's Eve at Times Square for 10 years.
Wow.
I also did a show they call Spanking New Music, which was a TRL thing.
Okay.
Right, that was pre-TRL.
Right. And this was always in November because everybody releases new product in November for Christmas. So it wasn't just spanking, quote unquote, new music like bands you haven't heard from. It was new product from Mariah Carey, from Rage Against the Machine, from Britney, from,
Right.
And what they would do during this week is they would have these people come to TRL and then they would perform in the street out in front of MTV and, and it was good. It was very good. And I did a few unplugs for MTV. I did REM. I did,
Really?
Oh my God. Alanis Morissette Unplugged. Lauryn Hill Unplugged.
Yeah.
And a number of others. And like I say, until they quit doing music.
Yeah.
They were a regular.
Were you? Did you? I guess this is kind of far enough away. You know, when the MTV stuff started, were you? You have any kind of crazy stories of intermingling? I know because the Red Hot Chili Peppers, they were crazy when they went to Daytona. That was just crazy. Stone Temple Pilots was pretty crazy too.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers in
Madonna.
Daytona Beach.
Yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Daytona Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Playing Club MTV, which was on the beach.
Yep.
Formerly Club MTV, later The Grind.
Yeah.
But it was their dance show.
Yeah.
And what they did was they selected a number of what they call casted audience.
Okay.
So they get a bunch of college kids that look good, and they got bikinis, and they
can speak well.
Right. And they're out there dancing. So the Red Hot Chili Peppers are playing, and they play, and then at some point in their song, which I don't recall, you can find it on YouTube.
I remember this.
Flea
I was
jumps
actually
off
there.
of the stage, and approaches some young co-ed who's there dancing, and he grabs her around her legs behind her knees and picks her up over his shoulder. At which time, Steven, the drummer, comes up and he beats a quick tattoo on her butt with his hands.
Yeah.
Now 99% of the college girls that were there, the co-eds, would have loved it.
Right. She did.
This particular girl was not happy.
Not having it.
Called her mama and daddy. Had MTV immediately threw them off the set and said, "You're done. You can't go here."
So horrible.
So they go away.
You smacked the wrong girl's butt.
Right, exactly. Meanwhile, since it's spring break, several other people on the beach, like the Marriott, has decided to have concerts in their one of their ballrooms.
That's right.
So they have the Red Hot Chili
Peppers were there right out. Yeah, I was at that show.
Yeah. And then the next night, they were supposed to come back to the Texan and play for the Texan.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, that's interesting. They just got thrown off the MTV set. Perhaps I'll go to the Marriott and I'll see what I'm in for tomorrow night, which was not an MTV gig. So I show up at the Marriott, and the food and beverage manager, he meets me in the back hallway, and his face is ashen.
Okay.
And
so, can I just say something about this?
Yes.
Because I'm wondering if this has some. So that the night before, me and my friends were impersonating the Chili Peppers. And because we had really long hair, and they thought we were the Chili Peppers, and they set us up with this big old everything was free.
No,
I swear to God,
this story before
I swear
on
to you.
air.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
so
I told you the drummer.
All right, so go ahead.
Chad, he wanted to kick our ass.
Yeah, because you were stealing their thunder or whatever. You were getting their
and we were
laurels.
We had a huge tab that we racked up.
Okay,
so I'm wondering if you're going if any of this was mentioned because. They thought that we were the Chili Peppers, and then they came, and they were so pissed off because they're like, "What are you talking about? That's what."
It probably you and he probably have co-mingled before.
Probably,
in this, background.
I think I've seen the Rev.
The Reverend. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, whether or not the Reverend's
back to you, Captain.
Aftermarket fairy tale.
Hold on. The food and beverage manager you said was looking
ashen.
Okay.
White of face. Okay. This is in the back hallways. Yeah. Now, it's important to intercede and remark that I had asked the Marriott, I had bid on doing all these shows for them, and they elected not to hire me. So I show up in the back hallway, and the food and beverage manager says, "Cap, you've got to help me." I said, well, "What are you talking about? I'm just here to see what's going on." He said, "Well, the barricade has collapsed, and the show hasn't started yet."
Oh, my God. Are you serious? Is this for real?
Oh, yeah. And the band will not go on until the barricade is fixed. And so I said, okay.
Holy shit.
All right, Jim, here's what you do. Go out there, get the microphone, tell them that the band is here. Tell them to back up so you can fix the barricade and start the show. Okay. And then he goes, so could you do this? Because I don't have any experience at this.
Whoa.
And my first remark was, did I not give you my card?
Yeah.
So I go out there. I said, all right, I'll go out there. I'll do it. But you better have a cold Budweiser for me when I come off stage. So I go on stage and I say to the people, hey, everybody, look, this guy right beside me, this is Bobby. He's the band's production manager. Yeah. They're all here.
Okay.
They're all ready to play. Yeah. But we're not going to be able to play until the barricade is fixed. Yeah. So everybody needs to back. Of course, people are hollering out, fuck you, fuck you, all that. And I said, so I finally get them to move back. They fix the barricade.
Okay.
The show starts. I get my Budweiser. I'm standing off stage, and I start to look around.
Okay.
Now, this was a period where in Volusia County, there was a beach patrol.
Okay, right.
Right? Like the beach had its own cops. Yeah. Like it wasn't the Daytona cops. It was the beach.
Down on like people drinking on the beach.
Exactly. Parking wrong and whatever. So I'm drinking my Budweiser. The band's going. Everything's cool. And I look around and I see the chief of the beach department rangers there in civilian clothes with this badge hanging out on his polo. Yeah. And I start looking around and I see like 4 or 5 other cops.
Okay.
So I go up to him and I go, so what's going on, John? And he says, well, we're getting ready to arrest these guys.
Yeah, because of the incident.
Because of the incident yesterday
on the beach.
On the beach with MTV.
Were touching the girl's butt or whatever. But
we're
the Reverend also thinks his subplot of he and his friends that looked like the Red Hot Chili Peppers running up a huge tab could have played a role. All right, so this is interesting. Could have played a role. All right. That's like, because I grew up in Volusia County. I know it surely could have. Be like, those guys were over here that ran up a huge tab and left.
Yeah.
And they got, so you screwed up the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No. Anyways, let's get back to the beach patrol.
So I go over to the chief of the beach patrol and I said, John, what's going on? Why are you here? We're here to arrest these guys. And I said, okay, let me tell you how this is going to go down.
Okay.
I said, number one, you got to wait till they're done.
Right.
Yeah.
I said, if you try to drag those hippies off stage,
it's going to be a riot.
You're going to have more gum than you can chew.
Yeah. That's a good.
I said, they're going to finish. They're going to come off. Then they're going to go back on, and they're going to do one more song, and then they're going to come off, and that's when it needs to happen. It needs to happen in the dressing room, away from all these people. Now, you and I, chief of the Beach Rangers, are going to see their manager. So we went, talked to the manager, all that happened. They got arrested. They went out. They got bailed out.
Yeah, immediately.
And the next night, they were to play at the Texan.
Yeah.
So,
so then that happened?
That happened.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And we had on the roof of the Texan, the FBI, the DEA, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, everybody on the roof.
You know what's crazy about that? Just an example, because that was that predates the whole Eminem thing. MTV. Who would they not let come to Daytona? Was it Eminem?
I don't know.
Eminem was with BET, which I also did.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I thought there was a big thing in Daytona where they wouldn't let Eminem come to town or play or
no, he came and he played, and the mayor was there, and that's a whole nother TED Talk. Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, for real. But wow, that's an incredible story. So how did that...
I want to hear the end of this.
Yeah, so how did
going somewhere.
So the people are like, what happens if what happens if somebody if they... or moshing and somebody gets knocked unconscious in the pool and they drown. Yeah. So I hired 4, count them, 4 Volusia County Fire Department rescue divers.
Okay, wow.
And I had them in scuba.
Damn.
In scuba.
Right. And I had a styrofoam. I had them put a styrofoam shark fin on their tanks. Okay. So there were 4 of them swimming around all the time in the pool in case anybody went in.
Okay.
So it went off great. We're getting ready to go we're getting ready to go on stage. And Anthony looks at me and he goes, "Hey, Cap, You need to come on the road with us.
Wow.
This guy we got now, is not, he don't get it. Dude, you need to come on the road with us. Wow. We can show you some really good times.
Dude.
At which time I removed my sunglasses, looked him in the face and said, Anthony, I want you to look me in my face and tell me if you think I need any more really good times on the road.
That's awesome.
So anyway, that was fun. And because of this MTV relationship, and because of the fact that
what a superlative job, you weren't even on the clock for this shit.
Right, that's correct. But because of the MTV relationship, MTV was given the opportunity to produce a Super Bowl halftime show in 2001. Wow! Because CBS, who was owned by Viacom. And so was MTV. Yep. They had the opportunity.
BET, all that shit.
And that was the first time they'd ever done it. They said, we're going to have a rock show on the field for a halftime show. Cap, you're the guy. You're going to get this because we know that you do crazy stuff.
What a fucking badass. Yeah, what a fucking okay, so that's perfect trajectory. So then you're there. This 2001.
Right.
They said, let's do like an old-fashioned, just a rock show.
We're going to do a rock show on the field, which nobody's ever done.
Okay.
We're going to have NSYNC, Aerosmith, Britney Spears, Nelly, and Mary J. Blige.
Wow.
And oh, by the way, you have to get all this shit out on the field and off the field in 5 minutes.
Yeah, the nail in the coffin from Go is that you have a limited time to set up and break down, which is just mind-boggling.
5 minutes.
Your mind, but you execute it and make it happen so well. It's just so impressive, dude. That is so awesome. All right, so I don't want to step on your story. Go ahead.
Well, the first one I ever did.
The first one,
The first one I ever did, I thought, this is not possible.
Yeah.
You know, that there's no way that you can set up something for these many acts in 5 minutes. I mean, there's just no way. So I just went for it. You know, I just tried it. And you know what? We did it. And then
the timing must have been,
it was crazy. It was crazy.
Unheard of before.
You know, the MTV said, "Oh, well, you have to tell us 90 seconds in if you're going to make it." Jesus. And I said, 90 seconds in, I'm not even close to knowing if I'm going to make it. Well, that's the last chance we have to get more time. So anyway, that was in 2001. The second one was.
So that went off perfectly without a hitch?
It went off perfectly.
Where everybody was a pro?
I was amazed.
Wow.
That it actually happened.
Yeah.
Well, the next year, somebody else did it. Clear Channel did it. Okay. And it was U2.
Oh. Okay.
And it was in New Orleans at the Superdome.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I got hired suddenly by this people that Clear Channel said, "Hey, who's the guy that got this stuff on and off the field?"
Right, who's the guy that did this
right.
the last time?
So they hired me for U2, which is one of the top probably 3 halftime shows that I've done.
Okay.
So I did that one. At the end of that one, I knew how to do it. I had figured it out.
Let me ask you this, Cap.
Yes.
Were you part, because the best, absolutely the best Super Bowl halftime show, without a doubt, was Prince. Were you part of that?
Oh, I was indeed.
And so, you know, how the rain, how that came down.
Oh, yeah.
So how was that? Was that a lot different than anything else before? Because the weather was just crazy for that.
The weather was crazy. And
that was in Miami.
It was in Miami.
Yeah.
And the thing about the Super Bowl halftime show is not only do you have 5 to 7 minutes to get all the stuff on the field.
Right. But you got to take it off, too.
You have to get it on the field. You have to mechanically be sure that it's correct. By that, I mean you have to. What we do is we take small pieces of the stage on wheels and we roll them out.
Right.
And we make them fast to each other so that it's one thing.
Right.
And then after that, we have to do power and data for sound and lighting and pyro and video and yak.
And bring all the people in.
All that in 5 to 7 minutes.
It's crazy.
So after the second one, it dawned on me how this has to be done and what it's about.
Okay.
And it's not about the stage. It's about this stage, by the way, is a number of pieces, sometimes 35 or 40.
Okay.
Each piece takes 10 people to move it because it's like this, it weighs as much as an automobile.
Right.
And so we do that by getting volunteers, which are now called field team members, from the local community.
Right.
Well, so I've got these 600 or 700 people and so forth and so on. So I realized after U2 that the key to this was not the stage, but it was the relationship between those volunteers and us and them with each other.
And choreographing everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I began to do that in the third Super Bowl, and I've not changed my method in the subsequent 17 years.
Wow.
So it's more about a relationship with people, with each other, than it is about the actual hard part of getting the stage.
Right. And
so hold on. So I don't want to leave the Prince. I mean, all the ones you've done, obviously you were part of the one with the wardrobe malfunction with
I was Nipplegate.
Nipplegate. Is that what they call it?
So
that's correct.
You're part of the Prince.
They refer to it as a
What do you feel? I mean, what do you feel is the best one that you've been a part of?
Oh wow, that's really hard because there's been several good ones in 19 years now.
Okay,
the 20th coming up. I think U2 was amazing because, but you almost have to put that one outside of the others because it was right after 9/11 and they projected all the names.
And that was the biggest band in the world at the time.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But there was so much juice in that show that was about America and 9/11 and so forth and so on.
Yeah.
So that's a favorite. Prince was a favorite.
Yeah.
Gaga.
Now, here's
Lady
what's
Gaga.
fascinating.
Hold on. Let's
go ahead.
Top 3.
All right.
I want top 5.
Oh, top 5.
In a stroke
Gaga for sure.
Okay.
Boldness.
Prince. I said Prince. I said Gaga. I said U2.
Was Nipplegate? Was that a good one or just?
Yeah, no, Nipplegate was not a good one. Beyonce.
Okay.
Beyonce was a good one. So, it's the point where, it's not up to us. Well, like we have nothing to do with who plays. We have nothing to do with what artist it is. We have nothing to do with anything other than trying to get the stuff on and off the field.
A quick question I had because of the way that you said you and Anthony Kiedis interacted, and I would imagine it's true because you have a very respectful, commanding figure. Like there's something about you that's nurturing. I mean, you just really feels like you were built to kind of do this kind of work, which is awesome. Yeah, I mean, but so when Lady Gaga, did they all get to the point like where they know you? Like Anthony Kiedis was like, "Hey, Cap, Cap, this is messed up," or is that hierarchy is kind of there for them, the celebrities too, as well?
Pretty much. Yeah. They have their own entourage,
their own deal,
and their own handlers and all that other stuff.
You don't talk directly sometimes to the artist. No, who it is.
I in Houston, we were there for the first day of Gaga.
Okay.
Wow.
First day of her rehearsals. We'd already been there for 2 weeks. And
just a reminder, if I think this is correct, because I'm not into sports at all. Like I can't stand football, but I always tune into the halftime show.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people do, actually.
A lot of people do.
Right.
So, but Lady Gaga in particular, this is the new stadium, correct?
Right. That's right.
Like the biggest stadium ever, like the newest. What year was this? Like
this, I don't know.
Okay,
it kind of gets smeared.
But this particular performance, didn't she like fly in or something from
That's correct.
Oh, wow, that's a good point.
From the roof,
really difficult.
Yeah,
which, by the way, it was shot ahead of time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
They shot her doing God Bless America and This Land Is Your Land, and then her jumping. So day of show, what has to happen is she actually is hooked up to rigging and taken 90 feet up to the roof of the stadium, where then after the video of her singing "This Land Is Your Land," "This Land Is Your Land" with the drones and stuff, she jumps, and then it shows her coming down and landing on one of the towers, and the show is underway.
Damn.
The first day of her rehearsal, I look to my right and I see this woman, a blonde-haired woman, probably 50 plus, and she says, "Hello, my name is Mama Gaga."
Mama Gaga?
Mama Gaga.
Okay. All right.
And it was Gaga's mom.
Lady Gaga Mama.
Mama.
Lady Gaga Mama.
Right.
Okay.
Who, by the way, was gorgeous.
Probably stunning.
And,
Yes, stunning.
and sweet and so forth. So Gaga comes up and her mom says, "Hey, this is Cap.
Yeah.
He's done 17 of these already at the time. Now it's 20, but 17.
Okay.
And she looks up at me. She's a very tiny, tiny person. She doesn't say a word. She takes her arms and puts them around my neck, back of my neck, and she hugs me so tight. Wow. And she says, "If you need anything, you let me know because I can make shit happen." Yeah. And I said, "Yes." Awesome. I said, "Yes, ma'am." That's awesome. So anyway, her show was pretty significant. It was a lot of stuff, and it was very. The riggers that were flying her in from the ceiling said, "Hey, look, this tower that she's got to land on, it's got to be in the same place every time.
Right.
Because if it's not going to be pretty."
Yeah.
So that was a real challenge, but it came off well, and that worked.
Wow.
That were good.
Well, I mean, what I love about what I'm hearing too is what you're doing there as far as your practice is you're building on it each time. You're like, it sounds like you're just making it more and more phenomenal each time you're involved with it and you're doing it. Now, people next year will actually be seeing a show that you're working on in the 2020 Super Bowl, right?
That's correct. In Miami with,
Congrats
I guess
on
they've
that.
just announced that
awesome.
it's J-Lo and Shakira.
Right.
Okay.
And,
Gloria Estefan will probably make an appearance.
I will probably make the prognostication that there will be others.
Right. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Other
than Shakira and J-Lo, both of whom I've worked with in the past.
Sure.
So I've already been to my first meeting.
Wow.
Last week.
Oh wow.
So we're beginning to work now. The next step will be the design of the stage and how we're going to do it.
Well, don't say anything. You probably can't say stuff. I'm sure you've got like legal mouth. What are those called?
So
non-disclosure.
Well, but what's that thing called where you? Gag order.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. You've got a gag order capped.
My question for you:
the Reverend needs a gag order.
All the shows you've done, what was the worst and why for you?
Oh, was there a most horrible over the time?
I'm sure there's got to be.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Well, there's definitely the worst one out of the ones that you've done.
Well, you got to understand too that when you ask a question like that, is that my goal is to get the thing on the field and off the field in the amount of time.
Right.
There you got it.
So I'm not. I try to kind of stay away from.
You look at it more holistically than like a bad.
And when I say
where
bad,
can we improve?
I'm thinking like maybe the artist.
Did anything malfunction or go wrong, or the nipplegate besides that?
Well, yeah, the black-eyed peas.
Okay.
Oh boy. Because at the time,
You asked, Reverend.
what's her name was jacked up all the time. Fergie, yeah, she was on like meth all the time.
Fergie,
What?
Yeah, dude.
Can we say that? Hold on.
Of course, yeah, she admitted it.
We can say whatever we want. That's
yeah,
fine.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know anything about that,
true.
but
we don't know. But
I was aware.
She's come out with that already. It's like in a book.
well, there's your dust in a bag thing.
Dust in a baggie.
There you go.
There was, it was in Dallas, and there was a freak snowstorm.
Okay.
We couldn't rehearse all the times we were supposed to, and all sorts of stuff. But I'm not sure that the Black Eyed Peas, I think they were almost not a group at that point.
Well, they suck anyway.
But they didn't
They were just
grasp
flaky.
the opportunity that was presented to them.
Oh, okay.
Like Katy Perry, for instance. Katy realized that this 13 minutes or 12 minutes of show was a career thing. It was a big deal.
Yeah.
So she worked her ass off to be ready for it. So did Gaga.
Yeah.
If you go back and look on YouTube at the Gaga halftime show, you'll see that her singing, she's singing live.
Right.
And she's dancing live. And I said something, I said, geez, Louise, how do you do that? And she said, well, I have a vertical climbing wall in my house.
Really?
It's like a treadmill.
That's funny.
Right? It's one of those kinds
That's cool.
as you
climb,
climb,
you could climb,
it moves.
Right.
Oh.
She said, so every day I would do that 4 times and I would sing the show while I was doing it.
Yeah, like a therapeutic kind of exercise.
I would sing the show to be sure my breath and everything was going to be. She worked her fanny off for that, and she, and you can tell when somebody comes out whether they're
prepared,
right, or they're just not prepared.
Yeah,
she was prepared. Katie was prepared. The Black Eyed Peas, not so much.
Yeah,
okay,
I just...
So answering your question, that was kind of the experience that he had. That was like, okay, come on, guys. What are we doing? Why can't we all get it together? This is the Super Bowl, and it is the biggest show of the year. And we are talking with Cap Spence of Night Watch Management. And your story is incredible thus far. So I'm very grateful for everything you've shared with us. So now, kind of we like to find out a little bit about future as well. So is there anything, just theoretically that you haven't done that you'd love to do? Were you a part of the Woodstock stuff?
I did. I was part of Woodstock. The first Woodstock.
99.
The first one.
Woodstock in 69, I was in Vietnam.
Okay.
Yeah.
Woodstock 94. Yeah. I was a department head.
Wow.
I was responsible for the transportation of all the artists, all their equipment, and this is the fun part, all their VIP guests into and out of the Woodstock site. I did it with 5 helicopters.
Oh, my God. That's so
15
cool.
passenger vans.
Yeah.
8 minivans.
Wow.
Two boats.
Fleet.
One was a runabout. One was a 40-passenger excursion boat.
Jeez.
And so that was in 94. I also would perform the same function at Woodstock 99, the one that caught on fire. Thank you, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Well, that was more
full
Limp
circle
Bizkit, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the fire. Yeah, but Limp Bizkit, it threw it over the.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
it was interesting to note the difference in the vibe of Woodstock 94 and 99. In 99, there were, we had like Limp Bizkit and Korn and, Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, it was
it was
indicative.
Crazy.
It was indicative of the times, though. It's 1999. Our primal lizard brain goes, it's going to be 2000. Something crazy is going to happen, right? So we kind of, it's a self-fulfilling deal.
So somebody decided that there was supposed to be a big Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix tribute with a hologram.
Oh, wow.
Before the Chili Peppers. So that happened. So people the promoters passed out candles so that people could hold up candles for Jimmy. Now, instead of like candles, they handed out storm candles, which don't burn out very well. Well, that happened, and then the Chili Peppers came on, and when they did Fire by Jimi Hendrix, they set the place on fire. And it was quite an experience, to be honest with you, getting out of there, because they weren't kidding. They burned the place down.
Wow. That must have been really difficult as far as getting people out of there, that, all the artists and whatnot.
Fortunately, the artists, aside from the Chili Peppers, were gone when this happened. Metallica was gone. Like I figured, our difficult day was Saturday when we had the when we had Corn and Limp Bizkit, and when we finished Saturday, I thought, man, we got this made. Now all we got is Willie and a bunch of Sheryl Crow and a bunch of other people, and the Chili Peppers, who, as you know, I've had experience with, so I'm thinking, yeah, man, we're great. Well,
hey, everything's going to be fine. Nothing new. There won't be a new problem with these guys. These fine young men.
No, but you know what? Can I tell you something? There was. They burned the place down.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
It was fun.
It's history. Look it up. Talking with Cap Spence, local legend for sure. And I'm calling this our platinum edition of local legend, because you definitely, man, and what I love about you is you are very much still a huge factor.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I love about you, dude. No, for where you're at, no, you're still a huge factor. You're commanding. You can bring shit together. Well, listen, I'll tell you, last week we had a phone call with these guys that are doing this Mayhem on Mills. It's a wrestling
Yes, correct.
thing every week. I'd love so we were talking about theoretically, so maybe even later next year, like in April, they're doing this big thing at Mills. So we were going to try to get a set up and, talk and do the commentary and all that. But I'd even love if you want to be involved from any aspect of that, man. Cause you do a lot of stuff that was really, really, really like takes, critical brain surgery type of stuff. And so maybe doing something fun with us like that next year would be fun.
That would sound like it would be enjoyable.
Okay. All right, so that's like April of next year, and it's 2020, and where we may be doing like the commentary for this wrestling match. Anyway, but all right,
we can talk about it.
Well, I just love the fact you came in here, dude. I don't want to lose touch with you.
Been talking for an hour now.
You've got so many great stories. Well, yeah, it definitely is awesome. So we've got about 10 or 15 more minutes here. So before we kind of ramp out and all that, I love to think about future. Is there anything you haven't done yet that you want to do? Like to do? That you're like, dude, I just love to create this or go, do this.
I think I would like to write a book.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And if I had a nickel, not a dollar, but a nickel for everybody that said that to me, that you should write a book, I wouldn't have to write a book. I would be financially secure. But I get that all the time.
That's awesome.
And so I'd like to do that. I'd like to become a better banjo player than I am, and keep on keeping on.
Hell yeah!
I'm not a banjo player, but I do play the banjo.
Oh, nice.
I know a song or two, but I'm no banjo player. I mean, I can't play anything by the Police or, Guns N' Roses or anything like that.
So let me ask you this. All the artists that you have worked with, was there anyone that you met that you were like, you were really starstruck over? Like kind of like couldn't believe that you were meeting?
I kind of got over that early.
Okay.
Because they're just another brick in the wall. They're part of the show, but the show is about them.
Right.
But I was so impressed with Lady Gaga.
Okay.
Because she, like our last rehearsal on Friday night before the Super Bowl, we're giving the exit briefing to all the union stagehands, and all of a sudden, this guy comes in with a hand truck full of donuts. Now, I'm talking about donuts from Voodoo Donuts.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Krispy Kreme donuts or Dunkin' Donuts. I'm talking about donuts that have bacon bits on them and Heath bars on them and stuff like that. And there's a note with this hand truck full of donuts that says, "To the stagehands, thank you so much for your work. Now, let's eat some donuts. Love, Gaga."
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
So that was on Friday night.
So you kind of
So we show up on Sunday, and there's 30 trailers, office trailers full of mostly women doing travel and hotels and all the stuff.
Right.
We come in the day of show, Super Bowl Sunday in Houston. On every desk is a bouquet of chrysanthemums, white roses, and fern with a note that says, "Thank you so much for making my dream come true.
Wow.
I love you. Wow. Gaga."
That's awesome.
And I'm like, man. Now,
that's class.
I know that she didn't do that herself.
Right.
But the very fact that she has someone on her staff.
Right.
That says, let's recognize this.
That's correct. That does stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like nobody ever did anything like that. Ever. And so she was, I'm a big fan.
That was your most
she was
impressive kind of interaction, like really kind of swept you off your feet.
It did.
Wow.
It did. She didn't have to do any of that.
Wow.
And she did all of that.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. And I know, too, you had mentioned you play banjo a little bit, and you write and everything, and some of the poems I saw, you're doing some actually publishing on Facebook. I don't know if those are actual poems or what.
More prose than poems.
Okay, so it's more like a prose.
But if on my Facebook page, there's a thing called Notes.
Notes, yeah.
If you click on Notes, there's several stories.
I started reading a few of those.
I wrote mostly about my experiences in Vietnam because it was such a, when you're 19 or 20 years old and you go through something like that, it's a major life episode.
Right.
And something you never forget. You can't. So that most of my writing so far has been about that. But there's other things I could write about as well.
Yeah. Well, I think definitely writing about your history, what you've done, what you've seen. I mean, just an hour or so here with you is like amazing.
Awesome.
Yeah, is like amazingly insightful. And I love the fact that you have so much more. I feel that you're still going to do. And I love the book idea too. I really think your memoirs are really would be banging, and I just love the correlation of how the military experience and the rock and roll side of it mesh together so well. And I love that you found that in your life, dude. It's really awesome. You carved out your own niche.
I used to tell people that
are like a commodity.
If automatic weapons fire was heroin.
Okay.
Then the production business in rock and roll is methadone.
Okay.
It's the closest I've come without having actual weapons fired at me.
Wow. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Watch your headphones.
Yeah.
Headphones.
So, all right. So, cool. So, step away for a second. Yeah. So, Cap, so it's right there. So, no worries. Step away for a second there. And,
hey, let's go into a
let's
revelation.
talk about your revelation a little bit. We're going to pivot a little bit. We got about 10 minutes until we hear from the guys at That Record Got Me High podcast. We were just talking with Cap Spence.
All right. Cap Spence, which was awesome.
Yeah. So, you got to send me that revelation. But
I already did.
Start
it's in
talking
your
about
messenger.
Where is it?
I told you. It's in your messenger. In your messenger.
I don't know what that
is.
It's not in there.
Facebook Messenger.
I don't see it. Okay. Hold on.
Well,
let's go here.
You want to go on?
I don't see it. No, I don't see it. I got it right here, buddy. I'm telling you, man. Hold on. Let me pick something up. Hold on. It's a hello.
Alrighty.
Let me say hello.
Oh, that is yes. Hello. How are you? So
say something, please.
Yeah, I'm definitely talking. So I'll tell you who I'm sending you is Juan McClain just came out with a new album, and the song is Passion Danger.
Okay.
And it's this new album is awesome.
Let me see if I can just be proactive.
Okay, there we go. So I just
you got it. Oh, okay.
All right. So yeah, this album just came out last week. Mm-hmm. It's the Juan McClain who remember when Black Star was going off for the 3 months that it was open? He came and DJ'd and played there. And this I really enjoy this album a lot. But this is called, you got it set up, Passion Danger. No, what do you got going on over there? Because they really are.
Hold on. Well, our guest came back real quick. I had to pop away real quick, but hold on. All right. So wait. So Cap is back over there. So let's wrap it up with Cap.
Yep.
And then we'll go into this revelation. All right. So hold on. So Cap.
Cap is back.
Thank you.
Yeah,
You're an incredible man. You've really done had a fascinating career, carved out your own niche. Really, we appreciate that kind of stuff. And your stories alone, dude, that is just amazing, man. Just to be interacting, and providing a service in that kind of entertainment world is a huge thing. So again, hats off to you. You're welcome back anytime. If you want to call us remotely from any place, you could do that. But we do want to stay connected with you here in the next couple of years.
Absolutely, I love it. I thank you so much for having me over. It's been a real good time. I've got one question for the Rev, though.
Okay,
all right.
What's yacht rock?
You know what? It's so
you're talking about string.
Captain, because I was like, you're captain, and I was like, I'm Captain Jerry, do this yacht rock thing. So yacht rock is it's basically smooth classic rock from 75 until actually 76 until like 85, and that's right around. It's it's got to be during that time frame, and it's just real smooth sailing, kind of like Steely Dan, Michael McDonald, Kenny Loggins. Pablo Cruz.
Is it a radio
Eagles.
Show? Is it an event?
It's a genre.
A genre.
Yeah.
Yacht rock is a genre.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah. So if you ever have any any streaming services like Pandora or whatever, radio, Spotify, you can put in yacht rock, and and it'll just play that smooth rock.
Yeah, man.
Classic
that sounds
rock.
like me. I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, man. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
And it really has been an honor having you here and sharing your stories with us, because you've got some great stories. We would like to have you back again and talk some more.
Yeah, without a doubt. Or like I said, feel free to call us on the road. You got the studio line.
I'll call you from the Super Bowl. I'll call you from Miami.
Wow, that'd be amazing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. And as far as you guys saying how wonderful it is of me to do this, I bet you say that to all the boys.
No, actually, sometimes we ask people to leave.
Yeah, we get in fights. We typically get in fights with people, and the Reverend. The Reverend is so well behaved this episode.
I'm very unfiltered.
Well, I certainly appreciate it, and there's 10 million stories in the Naked City, and this is just one of them.
That's right. That's awesome.
Hey, listen, I'm crazy about both you guys, and I cannot wait to come back. I'll call you from Miami several days before the game.
If you want to call it, if you want to call us, give us any kind of update of anything that's going on at any time you're doing anything.
Except my friend request. I'm Jerry Johnson. I sent you a friend request
great.
last week, actually.
Yeah, awesome.
So you must not get on there very much, dude.
I'm on there, but I don't. Like, I got like 1 million from all the field team members and volunteers and all that. So.
Right on. Awesome.
Cool. All
right.
We're talking
with Cap Spencer.
We're talking with Cap Spence, without a doubt, Spence. Local legend.
Not Spencer. Sorry.
Without a doubt. Hold on. So let me bring the song up here. We're going to go to the Reverend's Revelation. This is called Pressure Danger from the Juan McLean, man himself there. So let's see if we can get that moving in here. It is the JB Rev Show. We'll be right back with a call from That Record Got Me High podcast.
All right.
We appreciate you.
JB Rev Show.
Hey, if you're not having a good time, I'm not having a good time. So why the fuck you listening? Get the fuck off my channel.
WJBW, Orlando, Florida. the first quasi-radio web show.
Wow.
Hey.
Do it.
Wow, there you go. That's the JB Rev Show. That's how we do it. A little bit of original content all up in your browser each and every week. We do it live, so we leave all the mistakes in or whatever. It doesn't really matter because we are free and for the people. 10 years strong. This is Season Apocalypse.
Yeah, man.
Season 10. That was a great in-studio session with Cap Spence. Really insightful. That dude, man, that guy's hit. Imagine all the stuff he's seen.
Yeah.
Anthony Kiedis on a first name, calling him Cap
Calling
and
him
whatnot. Yeah,
Anthony.
just calling him Cap. Yeah, and whatnot and everything. All right. So anyway.
Hugging Mama Gaga.
Yeah. So coming up. Yeah. Mama Gaga. Yeah. So coming up next on what we do, I want to say, I think I got both these guys up on independent lines. We got an interview set up with these guys, down south. They're doing a really cool podcast. I listened to it a couple times. It's fucking awesome. But I believe we have, Rob. Yes.
Yep, Rob here.
Rob is there.
And bass.
No, Rob Bass. Yeah. And Bass. Are you there, Bass? Yeah. Barry. Go ahead, Barry.
Barry Stock should be calling in, or you get him?
Oh, we should have him in. Yeah, he should be in.
Have already been here.
Where's he at?
Damn it, Rob.
He should be. Hold on.
What's going on with Barry?
There was a.
Rob
You guys are great. You guys' show sounds exactly like our show.
Does
perfect.
it? With you must have a lot of technical difficulties.
We should have him in. He should be in the phone. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Are you there, Barry? Barry, go ahead.
Your call is running.
Hey,
hello.
Hi, how are you? It's me, Barry.
Oh, hey, Barry. How's your that record got me high podcast, man?
I take these songs. And I
just hung up on him because it wasn't working. Anyway.
Okay, you know what?
So what's his phone number? Give it out to me over the air.
This out,
hold on.
You know?
Tell him to try again.
Yeah, just tell him to call back again. For some reason, I didn't get him in.
I mean, do we really need to talk to him, Rob?
Well, yeah, Rob. Do we need? Oh, there he comes. All right.
Barry does have the.
There he is. All right.
Mellifluous. He has the deep mellifluous voice.
Yeah.
With the
he's got the voice with the radio. Is he there?
So.
Hey, what's up? Take us off speakerphone if you're on speakerphone. Maybe that's the problem. Can you? We see your call coming in there, brother.
Are you there, Barry?
Hello? Jesus.
Yeah, this is me. I'm Barry.
Hey, what's up,
You like my voice?
Yeah, I like
I'm here to tell you.
I like rock and roll.
I love rock and roll. We did Alice Cooper last week. Did you hear it?
All right. I don't know why he's not coming in. This is ridiculous.
I don't know. Barry can be very annoying, so I don't know.
I
feel you on that, dude. Because
okay,
JB.
I'll just vent about Barry the whole.
So let's all right. So
now,
let's start out
podcast
with
all about Barry.
Rob. All right. So
he says he can hear you, but I guess you can't hear him.
We can't hear him.
He says he can hear you.
Did you hear him, Rob? You think, what are we making this up?
All right. Let me
hear him.
Text me.
Doing an imitation of him.
Text me his phone number. Yeah, you like that? We'll go back to that.
Barry. Barry White.
Got me high.
They call me Barry White.
I like to get high with my records.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so we're going to try to get him on the line. Let me see. So now he's calling this line. Let me see. Hold on. Can I?
He was calling
hold
before.
And accept. Hold on. This will be funny. All right. Hey, is this Barry? Yes.
Giant sack of shit.
What the?
Accept, press 1.
Yes.
To send a voicemail.
Yes, we want to send. Hey, Barry, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can.
Listen to that voice.
I don't know. I got to be
Rob, you nailed it.
Let me see if I can join these two calls over on.
Now we can't hear Rob.
Merge. Hold on. I'm merging them on my end. Hold on. I think I got both you guys on the line.
We got Rob?
We got Rob.
Rob's my favorite, by the way, Barry, so far. Rob, you there?
Hello.
Oh, see, he can hear us, but we can't hear him. Barry, can you hear us? Now we can't hear either one of them.
I've got them both in a conference call. Oh,
okay.
Hold on, my friends. Hold on.
What do you have them on mute?
Hold on.
Take
We got to go here. There we go. All right, so I got him in there.
Okay.
Is this the whole call? Are you guys both there?
I heard a hello.
Yeah. I was telling these guys, this sounds just like our show.
Yeah, it's just like it. Yeah,
right.
we get into it with fights in each other.
Shut up. We got them both on the air.
We got them both on the air. Damn,
Finally,
shut up. We're the dysfunctional. Yeah, we're the Northern Florida version of your podcast. There you go. Anyway, but
only much worse.
We've been doing this for 10 years though. So take that.
I heard. That's amazing.
Anyway,
That's amazing.
10 years. Yeah. Anyway, so we got both Rob, Barry on the line from That Record Got Me High podcast.
Yeah, and first question.
I'm going to say right off the bat, that guy Cap Spence. I listened to that whole segment. That guy's awesome. He's very interesting. We are not going to be nearly as interesting as he if he was.
Well,
no worries.
We like the.
I left all
I left all my interesting stuff in Boca Raton today.
We have no stories about being in Vietnam or meeting Lady Gaga or any of that. So.
Well, I mean, just the fact that, you're in the mouth of the rat.
Take your phone off a speakerphone for us, and both you guys get up on the phone there together.
Get
and each
get off speakerphone.
You guys got it. All right, so you guys are over there. You got the Reverend over there. So tell us a little bit about, because I love the name of it. Just at the 1,000-foot view, that record got me high podcast.
Where did the name come from?
Yeah.
It's a riff on a They Might Be Giants song. They Might Be Giants have a song called The Statue Got Me High. The Statue Got Me High. So then I was thinking, that'd be cool if that record got me high. And about a year and a half ago, I was listening to these music podcasts, and a lot of them, I said, these guys, they don't know what they're talking about.
What he said was, they suck.
They suck. There's nothing Constantinople about any of these fucking podcasts.
Right.
There you go.
Constantinople.
Yeah, Constantinople.
It's okay.
Constantinople.
Okay.
So he said we could do as good. We could do at least as good as these idiots. So
and at the beginning, it was a little audio quality was a little rough, but once we bought some equipment and I learned how to edit. It's the only thing lacking now is the quality of the co-host.
So,
we have great guests on.
What did he do? He just put his speakerphone on to mock you or something. I don't know. Did your cheek, Barry? Did your cheek hit the speakerphone? Anyway, all right. Talking with Barry and Rob. So that record got me high podcast.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, because I'm deep into music. Are either one of you like a DJ, or how did this come about? And what exactly do you do on the podcast for those who don't know?
Well, every week we take a record. Usually it's a guest. We found it's really interesting just to have different guests on, and they pick a record that that meant a lot to them, that got them high, and we just talk about the record. Me and Barry do. It's like having a homework assignment every week now, because we really do.
Right.
We do our homework on it. We find out little tidbits about it, and we talk about the lyrics. We really dig into lyrics a lot.
Wow.
And we just talk about the record.
That sounds really awesome, because I don't know, 5 years ago, I did a thing called Under the Influence, and I'd have impressionable musicians and artists that would come in, and they'd pick a song that really meant a lot to them growing up, and they would tell a story about a particular song that really influenced them.
Like the same idea.
And then I'd play the song.
Right. Yeah, kind of the same exact thing. That's why I figured, Rev, you would love this podcast. These guys do dissect and go deep.
Well, what you were saying to me, which I've seen this before on some YouTube channel, I forget what it is, but they'd actually take one particular song and they would dissect the samples or
I've seen those too. Those are pretty good. I like those. Those are pretty entertaining. I like those.
Right on. So you actually take a whole record, or
we do the record. We do the record, and we do it track by track. We do each song and we go through the record, because we're that's it. We're old. We're like you guys. We're old guys. So
we're like Gen X.
Yeah, well, maybe. Well, yeah, I guess we're.
You're not a boomer.
Gen X.
You're not.
You tail into the baby boomers.
Rob and Barry have a little gritty, sinewy kind of relationship
JB.
Like we do.
Yeah.
This is why we're not in the same room now.
Okay.
Nice.
We're both
spend enough time. Rob and I definitely spend enough time together.
We do. That's why we didn't get. We just played the other night. We're both musicians. We're both guitar players. I'm a singer.
Okay.
And we've been playing, in bands for our whole lives. So,
nice. And
what some of the bands you've been in? Any bands we would know up here in Orlando?
Barry plays in Barry's in Mr. Entertainment and the Pookie Smackers currently.
They're huge up here.
Mr.
Actually,
Entertainment and the Pookie Smackers.
Those guys are big here in Orlando. When was the last time you were here?
Keep it up.
Never. Right?
Right next to Richard Cheese on the.
No.
You guys are in Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Orlando.
You guys ever heard the Wild Tones? You know the Wild Tones?
Hell yeah.
Wild Tones?
Hell
Dude.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Nadim
Khan is one of my best friends.
He was just on the show 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
Dude, he's been on our show.
Your show?
No.
Oh, he was on their show?
Yeah, he was on 2 weeks ago.
Oh, shit. I didn't even know that.
He's been on our show before, too.
Yeah, he's been on our show. But, Nadeem. Yeah, Nadeem is great.
Nadeem's been on their show before our show, and he's your friend. What's up with that?
So what's up with that?
Yeah, well.
That's the kind of thing you do, though. That's awesome to hear that you have somebody like that.
So they are baby boomers.
Okay.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Wow. No, really. I mean,
Nadeem is older. Nadeem's older than all of us.
Wow. Yeah. He's a boomer for sure.
He's like a several hundred years wiser than all of us that probably combined.
I thought for a while Nadeem was my dad.
No,
actually,
that's not true.
Nadeem is your dad.
That's not true. None of that is true. He's not any wiser than any other.
Who was saying that, Rob?
He was the best.
That's
Barry.
That's
Barry was friends with him. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I've known Nadeem since 1981. He was. We played in several bands together in Orlando. We played in Circus Gravity Bus. We played in St. Moise.
Oh shit!
Oh, okay.
Gravity Bus. Yeah, that's the second reference to that. What was it called? The Gravity Bus band.
Circus Gravity Bus. Yeah.
Yes.
They had great names. Those bands had great names.
So 1981. Barry, you were what, in your 30s already, right?
Yeah, double nickel.
Double nickel.
Just a double nickel.
He's been 55. He's a vampire. He's a Miami vampire. Leave him alone.
That's right.
So let's talk about some of the.
Also, I played with in the 1980s. I played bass and guitar with Maureen Tucker, who was the drummer for the Velvet Underground. I played a couple of records with her.
Wow.
Yeah,
the Velvet Underground. Holy, that's no joke,
man.
Yeah, Barry keeps mentioning the band Velvet Underground. I don't know who he's talking about. I never heard of him.
Yeah. What is the dynamic? The episodes I heard, you guys gelled pretty well, but still, there's a dynamic of the generational age. And we kind of focus on the Gen X, even though the Rev is just turning 50 this year. But yeah, how does that kind of play a role? Because people don't listen to albums like they used to. They don't listen to records like they used to, track after track.
Artists really aren't putting out records like they used to either.
True. It's sort of got a resurgence though. Kids, we've had some young people on the show. We've had people in their 20s who are really into records because they just sort of made a resurgence again.
Right, that's
kids
true.
Are buying records again. So for a while, no one was. They were just listening to single songs, streaming them But that's where we're all from is the record, getting a whole record. And I've said on the show before, when you used to buy a record, they were expensive. So you'd buy it and you'd sort of be committed to it. You wouldn't want to just hate it. You'd keep listening to it because you'd want to get your money's worth out of it.
Absolutely.
Correct. Yeah, that's true.
Is that so? Go on. Go ahead.
So you'd spend you'd have spent whatever. What did albums cost in the 70s, early 80s? Like, $8-9. I can't even remember.
$20.
Yeah, you got just enough, and you get home, and if you bought something that sucked, fuck, it sucked. But then there was the era of the used record store, and you could take the shitty records and go and get rid of the shitty records and then trade them in, and that's how I ended up with some great records too. Was from the used record store.
Yeah, get some
back in the 70s.
Get some kind of stuff. Okay,
when I was in his 20s.
Yeah, but get some kind of stuff that you actually wanted.
Barry was in his 20s.
The kids relate. They do that with video games. I'm going to get rid of these 4 Super Mario Brothers games I never played and get a damn.
So let's talk about your podcast here for a second. Getting high on vinyl.
I'm getting high intravenously through this record. That record got me high.
Okay.
Podcast.
How long have you been doing that?
It's been like a year and a half now, right, Barry?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we just did our 79th weekly episode.
Wow.
Congrats.
All right.
We've not taken a break either. We do one every week. So that's kind of like...
We got tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night's
tomorrow
what?
Night we have the drummer from the band Mission of Burma, Peter Prescott, is going to come on the show and talk about the first Brian Eno solo album, Here Come the Warm Jets.
Wow. That's very cool. So I got a question for both of you, each separately, Rob and
you don't know who that is, do you? You know who that is, do you?
Brian Eno.
Yeah,
I absolutely
know
do.
who that is.
Brian
of course
Eno
we
is.
do.
Yeah.
Mission of Burma. Mission Mission of Burma. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's okay.
No. Hey, hear me out. All right. Not only do I know who Brian Eno is.
Wait, Barry's trying to music snob the Reverend?
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
you don't know what you just did, sir.
That's my job.
Oh, my
That's how you
God.
tell us apart. Barry is the music snob of the duo here.
I am. Yeah, for sure. I'm uppity.
So
Nadeem described me as uppity. He said uppity.
wow.
Nadeem
Nadeem.
him as that. You better
Wow.
be careful, Reverend.
Yeah. So I just like who Brian Eno has collaborated with, and all the bands that he's been a part of, Roxy Music, and just some of his collaborations have really been the artists that he collaborated with would be some of the best works they ever put out, and
That's
we're
true.
talking like
very true.
Robert Fripp, sure, yeah.
Yep, absolutely. So
U2, David Bowie.
Yeah, sure.
Jean-Michel Jarre. Let's see.
Made that record with Tiny Tim that was really good.
Oh man, yeah, he tiptoed through the tulips, which was all.
It was.
Oh, really?
Now, I was trying to get a handle on what you guys like. What kind of music you guys are into? Because you were talking about yacht rock a minute ago, and then you played that song, which is not yacht rock at all. It was pretty cool, but it was totally. It was different. It was modern. It was very modern sounding.
So
I appreciate that.
That's a good
Rob.
question. Yeah.
And so every week I actually do a Reverend's Revelations. If you go on the site, it's on there somewhere, right?
Yep. There's a page,
and you can see all the. Okay. I like any music that's done well. I don't constrain to just one certain genre. But I'm also happen to do Captain Jerry, and I do a yacht rock thing like every month.
Here in Orlando, Ace Cafe. Where else?
But I'm also the Reverend.
Ace Cafe.
At
Where else are you
Maxine's on
doing?
Shine.
Maxine's on Shine. Where else are you doing it?
At Ace Cafe and Maxine's on Shine. But I'm also the Reverend. I DJ weekly residents at Kush Ultra Lounge.
That's right.
And I've been DJing since the late 80s.
Yeah, so the Reverend is kind of like our house. Yeah.
So
our house DJ, a music aficionado,
right? And I actually first met Nadeem in mid '90s, and I've always been part of like not just like the house scene or the club scene, but also part of the musician scene as well.
Yeah,
so
the Reverend. He's a huge proponent here. But anyway, we're on the line.
It's not about me right now, okay, Rob?
And Barry of That Record Got Me High podcast.
So my question, which I was trying to get to for each of you individually, is out of all the 79 podcasts that you've done, what's the one that really because from what I'm taking it, you set up the guests a week ahead of time because you're obviously gonna have to do your homework on the album before you do it, right?
Yeah.
So what's the album that you thought that that surprised you the most, or something that you didn't think you would ever be into, and now because of your podcast you like?
That's an excellent question.
Thanks.
I would say for me it was the Pulp album.
The Pulp album.
Pulp.
I picked this album, A Different Class by Pulp, which I became obsessed with, and Barry somehow had missed it and never heard it. So he was he was
fantastic, absolutely just fantastic. It has the catchiest song I've ever heard.
Which is what?
Common People.
Common People.
We played it the other night, but it was a gigantic hit in England.
Right.
It was as big. It's like, the sort of polls they have where people pick, the list of the greatest songs. Well, Common People has been on lots of lists, like above Smells Like Teen Spirit, above like, Candle in the Wind. Common People by
Candle
Paul
in the Wind? Really?
Greatest.
Kansas? You're bringing up Kansas?
I'm just using
Jesus Christ.
I'm using a well-known.
A well-known.
If you haven't heard the song.
Yeah.
Like Hanson's Mbop.
Common People.
Mbop.
You haven't heard the song Common People by Paul.
Okay.
Then you should definitely.
You will. If you're a music fan, you'll love it. It's very British. They were a very British band, so they didn't really transfer over so much. They're huge in England, but they didn't transfer over to the United States as much. So a lot of people have never even heard of them.
Right.
But it's good stuff.
The whole album is brilliant.
And
so
that's the thing.
Rob on that.
Much like you, Reverend, we do all different kind of music. So we really we don't put too many restraints on people. And a couple of months ago, we had a guest, one of Barry's friends, and she brought a disco record by Sylvester. This guy named Sylvester. And I just thought I was going to hate this, and I was like dreading it, but I did it. I was going to be
Sylvester.
Yes, not Sylvester the cat, but Sylvester, a singer,
right?
Who died of AIDS, I guess, in the 80s.
Yes.
But it was great. It was a great record, and it was really a lot. It was some disco, but it was a lot of soul and R&B too, and it was really good. So usually, if we give it a chance, usually if someone loves a record, we'll usually find something. It's funny though that you were talking to this guy Cap Spence, and he kept mentioning the Red Hot Chili Peppers, because me and Barry have a short list of bands that we refuse, that we say we'll never do on the show.
Right.
And they're one of those.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, one of them.
Right on. Very
Not
cool.
a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Well, because, everyone's got their.
And that's okay. Right. And that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but I would say from a pure number standpoint, from a fan number of listen standpoint, our all-time greatest episode was actually the one episode that we did while we were stone cold sober.
Okay.
We did it in the morning, and it was the Minutemen's Double Nickels on a Dime, and it has over 600 listens at this point, which for us is a big number.
Yeah.
And it's one of our best episodes because Rob and I both love the record. It is one of the greatest records that ever came out. It's one of the most, it's just a start to finish, brilliant piece of genius work. And obviously we're not the only ones that love the record, because that record in particular.
What was the name?
And we had no guest that week.
Minutemen.
The Minutemen.
What album?
And the album is Double Nickels on the Dime.
Nice.
And it's a stone cold American underground music classic. And if you're not familiar with it, I would think that you should check it out, because it's like a.
So Minutemen is a punk band. Punk band out of like L.A., right? From like the.
Yeah, they were from the 80s. Yeah,
right.
They were like from the L.A. scene.
Right.
A trio, but very musically adept, very funky. And
kind of like
political and
Agent Orange a little bit, were they a little bit like kind of
Minutemen don't sound like anybody. That's the thing.
Okay.
They didn't sound like anyone, or they sounded like everyone.
But it's there's never been anybody really since that has sounded like the Minutemen.
Right.
And their guitar player, unfortunately, he died tragically in a van accident very early on.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Yeah. 85. They had just finished touring with REM. REM loved them, and they were open for REM. And then there was, he's back in LA, and there was a accident with the van, and he was killed. But Double Nickels on the Dime is one of the greatest. It's up there with London Calling, and
wow, that's cool. So I'm going to play a track here as we close out in a couple of minutes. Give us a couple of minutes, but I do have two beads at the end queued up here. So
sure,
So kind of in honoring of you guys there, we'll be able to roll into that track from the Minutemen. Two beads at the end.
Nice.
So
okay. Now, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I thought you were going to play Red Hot.
Yeah, we're going
to go into Under the Bridge.
Blood, Sugar, Magic, Sex, Magic. Blood, Sugar, Magic, Sex, Magic. Up next on the JB Rev Show, it's stuff that these guys hate. Our guests,
right?
Yeah, it's like you're our guest, and we're like, here, eat this cactus. Yeah,
I just love ballads.
What kind of hospitality is that? Okay,
Chili Pepper ballads are
we'll
the
play
best.
your Minutemen track. I think that would be cool to listen to. But what's the best way for people besides just Googling? That record got me high. Podcast. If they're at work, they can't Google it. Is that right or no?
Google that right now.
Oh, they can. So,
we are totally safe.
That record got me high.
We do cuss a little on the show, but that's okay. We're on pretty much all the major any podcast service that you use. We're on Spotify, but it's good. It's a good name because if you do Google That Record Got Me High, you'll get all the places we're available on, and you'll get our website too. So.
Google that right now.
There's no
so
overlap.
Google. No overlap. That's good.
Or we're on Apple.
Nobody else doing what you're doing. Well,
Apple.
Yeah, well, that's like you guys. JB Rev, when I looked at you guys, I just did JB and Rev, and I got you guys right away because there's no one else.
JB Rev. There you go. All right. Well, rock and roll. You guys fucking rock.
Yeah, you do.
Let's see if we can get you to hold on. Let me see if I can get you to hang on to the line here.
Yeah, hold on.
Let me do a couple. Sure. Yeah, we got some new equipment in the studio ourselves.
I'm just making sure. On the line.
We do it. Yeah, we do everything live. Yeah, right. Well, thank you so much.
No editing here.
We're 10 years in, so we got so we could share some knowledge. We can share some knowledge with you.
We do this shit right the first time.
We make sure. Yeah, we make sure. We make
the only thing that's fucked
keep
up
all the mistakes in.
Is JB always talks over everybody.
Thanks. Oh well, fuck you. What are you talking about?
The secret to Rob and my success really is that we're both assholes. And I would say I don't think he's going to argue that. Right. Would you, Rob?
That's fine.
No, I wouldn't argue that.
That's fine.
See, you know how the good cop, bad cop kind of plays off each other? Well,
no, we're just both bad cops.
Oh,
yeah, I have a feeling you guys have kind of the same vibe. I think.
Well, no, ours is more like fucking stupid and super smart.
It's like Howard Stern walks into NPR. It's kind of our vibe.
You were just before you came on, when you were getting mad when you told him you sent him a message and the other one couldn't find a message, you sounded like me and Barry. I could tell you're getting a little annoyed, like it's right there.
Yeah, dude, it's right fucking there. Open your eyes, JB.
I was getting that vibe.
Set up. Yeah, but he didn't actually send it. It came through later, just to clarify, on the back end of all that. Back in. Okay,
just so
all right.
Guys, one piece of information for you guys. The next time you have to have two people on the show, there's a site called freeconferencecall.com.
No.
Write that shit down. Okay.
No,
JB.
I'm doing it this way. No, I'm doing it this way.
I've had a podcast for a year and a half.
I got you running through my board here. Nope, it's good. Hold on, let's see if I can get this media playing while
continue to talk over them while they're talking.
All right, so hang on. Hang on the line there. It's That Record Got Me High podcast. You're listening to the JB Rev Show. We're going to roll into a recommended track from Minutemen.
And I'm out of here.
2 beads at the end. All right.
Hold up.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
JB Rev Show.
Speed. My neck's a knot, 2 beads at the end. Four quarters close, my head rolls again. Trapped in your snare, voices fly at me. Step like a tiger, strikes like a snake. Feel like a poker in someone's fireplace.
If you're not having a good time, I'm not having a good time. So why the fuck you listening? Get the fuck off my channel.
What's up, JB Webb back with you. Here we are. It is the JB Reb Show, and I think, bear with me here, I'm getting our news correspondent set up here, and I think I got him. It is Jack DeMarco.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, buddy? All right, hang on. Let's get you into breaking news badly. Welcome back. It is the JB Reb Show, and we got Jack DeMarco doing a little breaking news badly, so let's get that going.
Now.
All right, hang on. Bing, bong, bongo, bongo.
Breaking news
badly.
Yes. All right, breaking news badly, a traditional bit we do here on the JB Rev Show. And Jack DeMarco on the line. I think we got you called in, queued in. You can hear everything coming back to you. How you doing, brother?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful. The Rev had to step out, leave for the evening, so you and I are going to close with the news.
Right on.
Cool. So how are you doing? Are you feeling better than you were last week? Let's get to talk about
much
that.
Better.
You are.
Thank you. Yes.
Good.
Yeah,
good
man. I got hit by something pretty hard, but
yeah, that's
much
crazy.
Better. Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah. So
no worries.
I'm President Jimmy Carter, former President Jimmy Carter,
starting
turned 95 years old today.
Wow, that's a hell of a
95 years old. And he's still out there building Habitat for Humanity stuff.
Well, you know what's funny about Jimmy Carter is they tried to ruin this guy and shame him, and look at what this guy did. He's built so many homes for people that need them, and he's helping out. He's smart with his solar energy, is feeding the town. So I love that opening story. Yeah, Jimmy Carter, that's great. So happy birthday, Mr. Carter, President
happy
Carter,
birthday, Mr. Carter.
President Carter.
Yes, President Carter. Him and his wife, who's 92, they've been in the same house since 1961.
Wow!
Before I was even born.
Wow!
Living right here, local, living legend.
Living well is the best revenge, though. That's the
for sure.
That's the thing you learn from that.
My computer's loading up slow, so I'm not going to read this verbatim.
Problem.
But a Florida club out of a Florida church, the New Sound Church in West Palm. Is buying a four-ber strip club called the Jiggle Joint Double D's Ranch somewhere in the city. Well, they're apparently the New Sound Church was growing too big for the inside of like the the school auditorium, like the local high school where they were like holding their church meetings. Grew big enough that they bought the Jiggle Joint Double D's Ranch that can hold up to 700 people. Wow. So I mean, that's so now the VIP room becomes the confession room.
Wow.
I mean,
there's so many things that can go wrong.
Yeah, like so many things. And so many jokes that could come out of that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So
for sure.
All right, so that's a good one. All right.
Yeah, and then in Wisconsin, apparently driving drunk on your lawnmower carries the same penalties as driving a car. A Wisconsin appeals court ruled that operating a riding mower while drunk carries the same penalties as driving a car. For sure. It comes from a ruling. Nope. It comes from a ruling in northern Wisconsin. A man was arrested in 2017. A police officer pulled this guy over for riding on his mower, dude.
Okay.
After leaving the tavern. And I guess he appealed, and he lost the appeal, and he got busted for drunk driving.
He's
go
that
operating a motor
fast.
vehicle on the road. But he is speed. Does speed really matter? If he's so drunk, like what if he hits an old lady who can't move out of the way of his, those riding mowers can get pretty fast. I mean, he could go 10 miles an hour. You get bowled over by one of those things at 10 miles an hour, you're not feeling too good.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I understand that, but just the fact, though, that, but there's a mower on the end with blades on it, so it can be dangerous if you run over with it. But still, I contend that those fucking things can't get up to like 40, 50 miles an hour where it can be like super...
but, well, it was also this guy's fourth offense at drunk driving.
So it really was a special case.
He was trying to, the appeals court, whatever his special case held up. So now, now you're screwed. So what happens now? I mean, this is Wisconsin. Like, what if you're riding a horse or a cow home or something like that? You get busted for
You're riding a cow. Okay.
I mean, that might have been a stretch.
Yeah, but come on, you're riding a cow. Come on.
All right. Jeez. Maybe a bit of a stretch and a bit of a joke. Another thing right here, this one's a little closer to home. A drunk 51-year-old in Port Orange right here by us.
Okay.
Drunk 51-year-old rides his bike into and past security at a school in Port Orange and sits down in an empty seat in a classroom. Yeah.
That makes no sense. He did what?
A man suspected of he was extremely intoxicated. He rode his bike into a Port Orange High School campus on Friday, wandered into a classroom, took a seat in an open desk, just Apparently, the guy's 51 years old. He was arrested by the school resource officer. He was seen on surveillance entering the campus on his bike, just riding past campus advisor who was checking in vehicles. This guy just zipped on by, drunk, and wandered into the school.
Really?
No, for sure. No, apparently, yeah. No, this is an article from a local,
how can they even
a local news source that I trust? Yes.
Okay. What's the source?
It was a Click Orlando article from Channel 6.
Click Orlando. Interesting.
Yeah. ClickOrlando.com. It's the CBS station.
Click Orlando.
Yeah.
Jack DeMarco. Yes. Jack DeMarco, take a break there. Talk to me. Hold on a second. Talk to me. So, you came back from, the Burning Man, got a little bit of a sickness. Was it because the environment out there is so open and clear? Maybe the arid, your lungs got something dislodged. What was it like out there? Cause it's totally different than Florida. Florida is very totally moisture. Yeah. So it's
really
like,
dry.
Yeah. It's really a different climate.
Dry. Yep, totally different climate. It's the high desert, right? So it's like 4,000 feet above sea level. It's hot, it's dry, and it's really dusty. And it's like a fine talc dust. It's not really sand. It's like talc. It's like powder. The dust that gets kicked up there.
It gets into your lungs?
Oh yeah, they call it fly-along. It's like a thing. Like some people get it worse than others. Yeah. I was pretty good. I think mine was like a legit sickness that was going around. A couple people at work had it, but. I do believe, yes. I feel like I think I got it a little harder because I do feel like some of that fly along it definitely was like coming out pretty hard.
So climate change.
And I run myself down out there. You know what I mean? I don't sleep a lot. I party a lot.
That's true.
I do a lot of work. I'm running around. So my body was really run down and like came back and kept partying because I was still in that Burning Man mode. So I came back and like, life didn't stop, and I was like right back to work and still not really taking care of myself.
Right. Well, and two, you have that whole setup where it's like, hey, it's something I'm doing that's different, but climate change affected your body.
For sure. Sure. I mean, the air is really clean out there.
Even at the smallest example. Right, coming from Florida to the desert, climate change, that's real. Your body has to adjust to that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I certainly
climate
am a
change
believer
is
in
real.
Breaking news,
breaking news, badly. Sure. We can close it all down here now because climate change is real. Look, Jack DeMarco just proved climate change is real. All right, so I don't know what more the people want. I don't know what more they want, Jack. We just totally proved that climate change is real. And you're awesome. Because you had to go through different climate changes, so there you go.
The body.
And it affects the body differently, different climate. So I love it.
Different people too. Right?
Different people. So there you go. Different strokes.
Different people.
Different climate for different folks. There you go. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
What else? What else you got? You got any other stories up your sleeve there? What else you got?
I mean, feel like I'm put on the spot, but
no? I think you do. I think you got a couple because I interrupted you. I made sure.
No, that's cool. I mean, one of the cool things I got to do at Burning Man this year, if I was to indulge, is I got gifted a ride over the playa in a Cessna. Some of the pilots out there are really generous with their time.
Cool.
And their fuel, and they give people rides, and there can be really long rides. And I got a friend of a friend who hooked us up, it was really special. We went right to the front of the line, got a single seat Cessna with a pilot who took us up, let me grab the stick and fly over Burning Man.
Damn.
Just pilot over it for a little bit.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty wild.
So you had a great experience. Yeah,
a great experience. I did lots of adventuring and climbing things, and there was this Eiffel Tower that was about 50 or 60 shaped kind of climbing tower.
Right.
It was 50 or 60 feet high that had a chair. Just a single chair up there.
Okay.
And people would climb up and wait their turn and sit in the chair, and the chair would overlook Burning Man, overlook the city.
Wow.
And you could just sit up there and but while you're waiting your turn, you're hanging on this, just structure that's like a tower, a legit climbing tower, and you're hanging on 50, 60 feet up in the air.
Damn.
Yeah, waiting for your turn to sit in the chair. So I get up in the chair, like one day I was out there with my friends, and I get up and I'm like waiting my turn, and I sit in the chair and I take my pictures with my friends. Like, you know, they stare on the ground taking pictures up at me.
Right.
And then, like, so I'm sitting in the chair and I, like, overlook Burning Man. It's really cool. And then, you know, I'm going to let somebody else go. So I go to look down and, like, I paused for a second. I looked at everyone down below and I was like, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little fucking scared to turn around and climb down off this chair now. Like, because there was, like, a moment of, like, you had to, like, turn around and make sure you got your first footing, you know, climbing down. Otherwise, you were not going to do too good.
Here we
go. So anyway, yeah, for sure, though. It's pretty cool, though. Lots of cool little adventures like that. Flying over Burning Man, climbing up shit.
Yeah, that's dope. Well, cool. Well, Jack DeMoco, what did I just call you? DeMoco. Hey, Jack DeMoco, we appreciate you doing the news, throwing us a couple of great news stories every week. And we'll keep doing it next week. I think you could probably we should be able to get you in studio, but awesome. You know, we want to respect your time, so setting up the call in was an awesome option to that. So
thank you, man.
Hey, brother.
Let's try. If we can make the studio happen next week, that would be great.
That should be good. Well, we've got a super important call next week. And actually, you know what? I'm going to leak it now for about the dozen people that are listening. We've got John Zazula calling in. He's recently released a book called Heavy Metal Tales or Heavy Tales. Anyway, it's all about his promotion career in heavy metal. So he's played a big role with a lot of bands like Metallica and a number of others. So that'll be exciting next week. So we'll have a call from him. So we'll have you in studio. We may have another special in studio guest as well, announcing a very cool local original thing. So I just want to get confirmation on all that. But hell yeah, brother, you rock. We appreciate the fact you're able to give us a little bit of snippet of news there. So hang on, let me bump you away. Let's go into our sponsor crawl, and then we'll hit a jam and get the F out of here. Any closing thoughts or sentiments, Mr. DeMarco?
Oh man, I got nothing. Right now. I'm just living my life, man. I'm just like day by day. I'm just doing it day by day.
All right, don't worry.
Burning Man was tough this year. I'm just I'm just taking the lessons one by one.
You're just glad to be back in your flow. Had a great experience. Always good to hear. And we hope that the JB Rev Show is a good experience for you. You can go to WJBWnetworks.com and fill out a comment complaint form there, or a contact record, however you look at it. Anyway, let's hit this sponsor bump. Mr. Jack DeMarco, thanks for calling in.
Thank you, sir.
Hell yeah. All right. Very good. We want to thank PocasHottest.com, ShannonHoltArt.com, OrangeBlossomBrewing.com, EtoileBoutique.com, BadassSandwiches.com, Infotainment.com, Kush Ultra Lounge, Dank Orlando City Smoke Shop, Orlando Art Army, Iron Cafe, Iron Cow Cafe, thank you, Kathmandu Winter Park, GroundingRoots.com, eartheater.usdjs.com, Nora's Wine Cigars.com, littleindies.org, and remixrecordshop.com. Thank you so much. Season 10 of the JB Rev Show keeps rocking. That's how we do it. Local businesses are awesome. Thank you.
But I did find something out, man. I kind of, being in that Center for Drug-Free Living, I met all kinds of people.
Okay.
And one of these things, it's like a business I think my mama should start out, and it's called Duber. Because you heard of Uber, right? Uber is like this car rental place where if you're too drunk, you call Uber. They come get you up. You're safe.
Yeah.
Well, there's this new drug thing, man. It's called Duber, and it's like you rent your car
What is
out.
that?
You take your car. You give the keys to the.
You have a car. You have to have a car.
You have to have a car, man.
You have to have a car to give for what?
Yeah, even a motorcycle will do.
Okay.
Any kind of moving vehicle.
Any Duber.
Any Duber. It's
Duber.com.
called Duber.
Okay.
Yeah,
Duber.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
And they do not do any background checks.
No background checks. No.
No
Okay.
drug testing.
Of course
nothing.
not. No.
Of course, because that would
what
kind
does it do? Because it sounds dubious.
Well,
Duber.
it's Duber.
Sounds dubious.
It's Duber, man.
What
it's
does
dubious.
it do?
Well, you give your keys to the drug dealers, right? And then you give them your car, and then they rent your car out for a whole day from you, man, like maybe 8-10 hours. And how they pay you is with the drug. What? They pay you with the drug of your choice, like crack, heroin, cocaine, marijuana. And it's just a way to keep it clean, keep it off the streets, except for your car. But the only downside to Duber is not getting your car back.
Right.
Yeah, give me that. Down. You piss me off with your listening and all that. Get the fuck off my channel. We're gonna start a subscription. A Patreon, if you will. You pay us to piss you off, you fucks. I don't want your money because I don't want you to listen. Son of a bitch. You are such a piece of crap for even paying attention to this shit. What would your mama think? You son of a bitch. How do you even know how to operate the internet? It's WWW, all one word, shut the fuck up. Eat it. JB Rev Show.
Yo.
WJBW.
You don't want to. The electronics are so predominant that people would really prefer that.